Hi guys, I'm Owen of Van Trekking Lifestyle, and our van, our Rebel, has adequate lithium batteries, and it has adequate solar panels on top, and it has a 2,000 watt inverter. So why, when we traveled this time for this long trip, did we travel with a portable battery inverter and a portable solar panel? Well, today I'm going to tell you in this tip. The company BigBlue sent us the solar panel and inverter so we could give an honest opinion of how they work. You know, the problem with that is if you're not traveling and you're not boondocking a lot, then it's hard to tell you honestly how they're going to perform when you get out here. So it wasn't until we left for this really long trip where we're doing night after night after night of boondocking out in the middle of nowhere that I could offer an honest opinion. So it came with us on this trip, which should tell you something that we thought it was going to be useful. How's it turned out? Well, first, let's talk about the battery pack. It's a BigBlue CELLPOWA. It's not Cell Power, CELLPOWA 500. And that means it's got 500 watts of actual battery usage inside. And it's a lithium battery. It's really, really small. And so how would we use this? In our van, even though we have 250 amp hours of lithium batteries, if you charge your cell phones, your cameras, your drones, laptops, if you run fans, the induction cooktop, if you turn the heat on, there's all these things that are going to drain the battery. Usually for us, if we stay one night, we don't worry about a thing, because what happens the next morning, we crank the van up and we roll out, and within an hour, we're back at 100%. But a lot of these places out west, it takes you a little bit to get off road and get to them. So you don't want to just pick up the next day and roll. You want to get there and enjoy the spot. So what's happened is, what we found that second night, many nights, if we weren't using this battery pack, our power would be down to less than 20% when we woke up the next morning. Now, to be honest, we didn't manage it like we were going to stay out there just with our batteries. We managed it like we always did, and it caused an issue. But what we found is, if we're going to stay multiple nights and we need to charge things, which, you know, we have a YouTube channel, we're always going to need to charge things. So if we do, we charge those things from this 500 watt inverter. Now that works out really, really well, because overnight it'll charge everything, including laptops and everything that we plug into it. And the next morning, it's usually around 65 to 70% still remaining. And the batteries in the van, well, they're also at about 50 to 60% instead of 25 to 30. So it's making a big difference in the draw off of the battery in the van. So now that we've used them for several weeks, the one thing I'd say about this battery pack is it provides a lot of peace of mind for something so small. And, you know, when you're traveling, and especially when you're way, way, way off-road, our latest trip, we were more than 40 miles off of a paved road. And this thing added a little bit of security that if something happened in the van, at least we had some power with us. So it's simple. I like simple things, and it works. And it's small, just like everything we have in our van. So it fits our lifestyle perfectly. Now, you may want to get something that has double this power, or triple or quadruple, if you have a lot of room and your back is fine in picking these things up. But for us and our lifestyle, and we have a van trekking lifestyle, that means everything has to be small and everything has to have a purpose. And this thing serves its purpose well. And I can't imagine a day anytime soon that we travel without it sitting right behind the driver's seat, charging happily as we drive down the road. Now, what about the solar panel? So when they ask us if we wanted to review this, they also ask if we'd like to review their new SOLARPOWA 100, which is a flexible, portable solar panel. And I said, heck yeah. That sounds like a great idea. And so they sent it to us as well. And it's sat in a box for a long time because, you know, when you're plugging in, you don't need this thing. But out here on this trip, it's really, really worked out to be something that, to be quite honest, I like it better than the battery inverter. In fact, we like it so much that there's a chance when we get back off of this trip that we're going to take the solar panels off of the roof and we're going to just take 2 or 3 of these with us. And you may say, why is that? Well, especially in the wintertime, if you haven't noticed, the sun sits really low in the horizon, even at midday. Our van, those panels sit up there exactly flat and horizontal. So what ends up happening is it's not very efficient at bringing in power. I can point this directly at the sun, just like I'm doing today, and this one little 100-watt panel outdoes the 300 watts we have on our roof. Now, if I could tilt the ones on the roof, they would kick this one's butt, but this one is doing well. So I'm inside the van. We're bringing in 8.3 amps right now with just what's on the roof. Okay, honey, connect it up. And Lynn's gonna connect the solar panel outside. And look, you could tell when she did, it jumped to 12.3. Now that's with the sun straight overhead, or at least, you know, kind of angled here in the winter, and that's as good as we're gonna get on the roof. And it's still being able to point that thing right at the sun, added that much extra power. This thing can be pointed right at the sun. And as the sun moves, you can keep moving it. So Lynn and I take turns going out there and making sure that if we're in one place and we need the power, we just move that little puppy to point where the sun is. And you know what? That's really, it's simple. You plug it in, it works, and it's very, very efficient. So we're thinking that we could best use the space on the roof for storage of things like paddle boards or, you know, extra clothes or anything else we want to take with us, and just keep 3 or 4 of these in the back of the van. And when we get somewhere, we're going to be there for a while and we really need solar panel, then get these puppies out, point them all at one place, keep pointing them at the sun. We'll be more efficient in doing that. It seems to be really, really rugged. I just fold it up. I stick it in the back of the van. It's ridden there perfectly. It uses a standard connector that just connects to the very back of the port in our van, and probably will in anything that you have too. And if I were going to suggest to you, go buy the battery pack or the solar panel, I could say both of them will be traveling with us. But if you don't have a portable solar panel and you boondock, that's a life-changing thing to purchase and use. And if you don't believe me, just buy one from Amazon and use it for a trip. And then if you don't like it, send it back. I can almost guarantee you won't do that, because these things really work really well. So there you have it. That's how we're living out here for 3 and 4 and 5 nights, way off grid without any electricity. And if it were not for our portable solar panel or this portable battery inverter, I think we'd end up having to crank the van up every day and just let it idle, or we'd have to drive somewhere. And we don't like doing that when we're sitting still and just having a good time. And guys that watch this, if you need any of these, I'll put a link down in the description below. It's in our Amazon store, and I'm pretty sure they're going to send us a discount code also. And if they do, we'll put that in as well. So thanks for bearing with me as I use one of the Tuesday tips to do a review. I've owed them this review for quite a while now, and I'm glad they've been patient with me. And more than anything, I'm really glad that we have these 2 things in our van, and I wish I had told them to send me a couple, 2 or 3 or 4 of the portable solar panels. Until I see you again next week with another tip, this is Owen with Van Trekking Lifestyle, and we hope you're having a great, great week, and we hope you're safe and healthy, and we'll see you down the road, especially if you're on a dirt road somewhere out here in the West, not plugged in, living off of a battery and a solar panel that you can carry out with one hand. Pretty cool stuff. See you down the road.